Ready for editorial dictation start. The Russian aggression in Ukraine has brought an unexpected focus on India's medical education system. The images of Indian medical students stranded in various Ukrainian cities are disturbing. The students have found themselves caught in war zones and on the borders of neighboring countries while fleeing conflict areas. The evacuation also brings back memories of Indian students stuck in Wuhan, in China, after the coronavirus pandemic broke out years ago. It is well known that a large number of Indian students head to foreign universities for medical education, but the sheer number of them in Ukraine has come as a surprise. This has necessitated the need for a thorough review of India's medical education system. Among the chief reasons being cited for Indian students opting to study medicine in foreign universities is the high fee structure in India and also the lack of an adequate number of medical seats in Indian colleges. This is partly correct, but the problem is much deeper and closely connected with the state of the country's health system. The only way to address the problem is to bring about structural changes in the health system, of which medical education is a subsystem. The first systemic survey of the health system, including medical education, was done by the Health Survey and Development Committee under the chairmanship of Sir Joseph Bohr in the 1940s. Many of the recommendations of the panel were implemented after independence and new institutions were created to serve the health needs of people, and medical circula were modified based on these needs. No such comprehensive and wide ranging review of the health system was done after this exercise, though expert committees were formed to examine specific issues from time to time. The link between the health needs of people and medical education got severed with the entry of the private sector in the 1980s, which was also the period when private corporate hospitals were permitted to operate. Till this point, private sector participation in health services and medical education was restricted to institutions run by charitable, religious, and minority institutions. The policy decision to allow for profit or corporate players led to mushrooming of private medical colleges as well as corporate hospitals. Medical education being a state subject, some states aggressively promoted private medical colleges. The regulator Medical Council of India (MCI), which was supposed to be a self-regulatory body, helped private players. Surplus money from agriculture was diverted into medical and engineering education. In some states, with many of the private colleges owned by political leaders or their cronies, the courts also ruled that privately run professional education institutions had a right to charge fees higher than government institutions. Anomalies like NRI and promoters quotas crept in medical seats began to be sold to the highest bidder. The result of all this was the wild growth of medical colleges as a commercial business. In addition, the growth of private medical colleges was mostly in western and southern states, leading to a skewed distribution of medical colleges. Southern states have a greater share of government run medical colleges as well. For dental education, the number of colleges being approved was so huge that many had no takers, and dental graduates are being offered salaries lower than even drivers and plumbers. The overall quality of medical and dental education deteriorated. Many private medical colleges do not have qualified staff or attached teaching hospitals. On the other hand, the demand for medical and dental seats rose, given the lure of high salaries in corporate hospitals or private practices. In urban areas, parents of children who could not afford a seat in capitation colleges started stop